That's not on. Okay. Hey there, guys. I just wanted to make a quick video. Was playing around with this mob farm. It's a gold farm that we have built, and just I just want to completely understand exactly how mobs work in Minecraft. And this actually gave me a really good representation of what I can see and try to get an understanding of how things work. So basically, I saw some really weird things where I saw mobs standing outside of the um, an area that just they wouldn't actually move. They just sat there, even though I could see that they spawned. And there was some right beside it that would automatically go for the turtle egg that's inside of here. And you'll notice there are some way down there that are fallen, and I'll get to that in a second. So basically, I had a tool here called Mini Hub, and I went ahead and set some shapes. And I set the shapes except for the really outside sphere to be the same color as another little image that I had found on the web that explains spawning. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that image now. So basically, this is the main idea behind mob spawning. So where the center of the person is where everything goes. So basically have inside of the mob spawner, the yellow one, there's nothing happening. No mobs will spawn within 16 meters of yourself, unless you're by a mob spawner, and then you want to be 16 meters around it so that it will be active. So outside of this 24 millimeter circle, mobs will spawn randomly. Outside of this 32 millimeter circle, not millimeter, meter circle, you'll see that mobs don't move and can despawn randomly, which this is actually what I was seeing, and I'll show you that in a second. And then you have the huge 128 out from the person and 128 up and down all over of a sphere that anything that mobs outside of that will despawn immediately or won't spawn at all. So basically they'll spawn automatically despawn and then allow the mob cap to be filled up inside of this big sphere here. So anyways, so basically, like I said, I set these spheres and I'm going to go outside of it so you can see what's going on. So I just passed the 24 sphere, and that is basically where nothing should be able to spawn in there if somebody's in the center. And then this sphere outside of this is where the mobs will sometimes move, sometimes not move, but they will still spawn. And you can see that doesn't have a really big range. Now outside of this is the red one, and it is absolutely huge, and you can see that it's just cutting into the bedrock below. You can see it like kind of phasing in and out down there. So basically, you can see that mobs are dropping over there now. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the 128 one just so you might be able to see a little better. So basically, if I stand right here, anything that's inside of this initial green circle, let me go ahead and I'll turn that one off. It's yellow, actually. There we go. Nothing's going to spawn in here. So if we go over here and we take a look, that is a lot of the farm, 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly 5 layers that nothing's going to be able to spawn in. So basically what I wanted to do is I want to be able to get as much to be able to spawn as possible. So I'm pretty sure about here is where I was standing before, and it really allowed it to work correctly. So I'm going to set this here, but it kind of didn't. So I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to set this, set that. And now I'm going to, you can see that if I stand here, my 16 sphere that I have, where nothing can spawn in, that's fantastic. And then everything outside the 24 is even better. So there's the 16. So I could actually come over maybe 2 more blocks before I completely allow everything to spawn in. So I accidentally hit that. So let me bring that back up. So I'm going to do the 24 sphere where mobs can spawn randomly. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to go back to my spot. I do believe this is where I was standing. Right here at this guy, which is with this one. So I'll go back here, configure this, and I'm going to set that to be on this center here. And let me turn off the 16 sphere because that's not what we're talking about. Okay, so you can see now my 24 sphere does not really... Actually, I actually just clips some of it. So they can kind of spawn on these ones, but not really. So that might tell me that, you know, back here might be a better option. But anyways, so as I'm standing here, the 24 goes to there. Okay, so there's a guy way off in the distance here. In fact, I'll bring my FOV up so you can see this. So you see those guys over there? That one right there is not moving. And you can probably guess why. And that's because they're outside of the 32. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to configure it. And I'm going to set it. Okay, there he just started to move. Okay, so now if I turn this back on, you'll see where the 32 is. And you'll see that the 32 is actually not covering all of the mob spawner. It's only covering about 2/3 of it. I'll keep standing here, and hopefully we can get another one of those to spawn up top there so you can see exactly what's going on. Okay, so we have one. You see him over there. And let me see if I can zoom in any more. I can. So you can see he's just standing there. He's not running towards the egg, even though it is right there. I mean, he can definitely see it. He can definitely scan it. And you see him just move just a little bit at a time. Moving. And as soon as he gets past that or gets close to that blue line, you're going to see him just start running. See? So yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that the mob area, the spawning area, is very interesting and very, very specific. Now what sucks is from 32 to 128 is where mobs can spawn, but they won't move. So you really need to have your farm that you're building within only a 32 meter outside of your 24 that they can actually go. Now there is one way around this, and that's actually the mob spawners that have the flushing mechanism in them. So you have 20, 30 tiers that are inside of this 128, and then each one of them flush off all the mobs so they don't have to move. So it doesn't matter that they're moving. I guess the only way that you could get around this is, you know, in this type of situation, is to actually fill up this kind of place with a, you know, large platforms that fit in between the six. Actually, it doesn't really matter. It could actually be outside of the 24 to 28 and then have flying machines push them off because you can't have water in the nether. But you can have lava. So could we make lava dispensers that actually flush off mobs? So that might be something to explore. That would be kind of interesting because then you can use the algorithm of the flushing mobs to get things off, but you're actually using lava. And I'm pretty sure that piglins don't die from lava. I have to check that. All right, I just wanted to add another piece onto this real quick. So I was messing around with it, and I was basically trying to find like the best area so that things just fit in correctly. Now I could move myself over to the center of this to get this in a little bit better, but let me show you what I got going on here. So you can see that it just barely clips the edge of that of things that don't spawn. So let me go ahead and turn that off just to make it less confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and fly out here. And you can see that 90% of the mob farm is actually in the spawning area now. So that right there, probably the best option for me to just chill. Yeah. In fact, I think that I could even make these just a little bit smaller. I'd be able to get more mobs to fit in. Or just shave off some of this side over here. But yeah, up there is not the spawning place I want to be for this farm. Now, this causes an issue if I come down. I bet you can guess why. This, the despawn sphere. You can see that the despawn sphere, so anything inside of here can spawn and not move. There's still a chunk down below that I would have to go, seriously, that I would have to go through and fix. And that right there was just perfect, Ed. Luckily my respawn's right over there. So I'll go pick up my crap. So yeah. Just wanted to add that in. I'm glad you enjoyed my fall. I really need to get better gear. As you can see, I've been mainly just worrying about building, not getting my stuff perfect. Silky McSilky. I love my Silky Silk. So anyways, I figured I'd want to add that on. Hope that makes more sense. All right. So anyways, I hope that this helps you out. You know, you might have learned something. If you haven't downloaded MiniHub for your computer, for your Minecraft, I would definitely suggest it. It is a fantastic mod. In fact, I'm actually going to be using it to build spheres, and you can see why I would, because you can basically build anyone you want. You can come in here and configure. You basically choose the one that says sphere block base, and you say add, and then you click configure, and you can basically make the sphere bigger or smaller. I'll set this here, turn this on, and you can see it's not a very big sphere. So and that's basically giving you, like, you know, a Minecraft sphere that you could build on. So yeah, anyways, I hope that works. I hope that like I said, you learned something. So like, subscribe, you know, do the thing, click stuff, you know, come back for more. I want to make more. So if people aren't here, there's no really reason to make stuff. So yeah, do it.